What's up, you guys? Hey, Melissa, good to be here with you today.
Yes, I am so excited to be here with you today in Jon's absence. I know he's going to wish he was on here with the two of us today.
Exactly, right? The girls are going to have fun. So Jon is, I think, baseball, right? In Orlando with his son. It's funny. I'm friends with a few people on social media that are down there at the same place. So apparently it's a big deal for the world of baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. We used to travel with my daughter doing soccer all the time, and we would go there to the Disney World area, and it was amazing. So I'm glad he's having a good time, and that's one of the great things that of being an entrepreneur, right? You can do what you want.
Absolutely. Huge perk. I was the mom that was always working and missed every game, missed everything. And that was probably the biggest perk to becoming an entrepreneur, is being able to be at whatever event I want and having those choices. So today we're going to talk about that a little bit, right? We're going to talk about having a six-figure mindset and how you guys, we're going to show you how simple it is really to be a six-figure earner. I spent 14 and a half years trying to climb the corporate ladder to get to six figures. And then in 3 years on my own, I did it. And now I could do it all. I could do it. I've done it a couple times, meaning in the same year, multiple six figures. So anyway, Melissa, introduce yourself. Melissa Harris on today. She's been a guest with Jon once before, but like we said, today it's just the girls. So Melissa, tell us a little bit about you before we get started.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this. I'm so excited we have this topic today. As many of you know that are probably watching today, I do work some with Jon. So, that's the reason I'm stepping in his place today and doing this show with you. But I spent, like you, I spent 25 years in corporate America. I didn't decide to change my life until I was 45 years old, which is absolutely insane to me looking back. Because, a lot of people are in that position and they feel like there's, is it too late for me? Or, am I too young, or am I too old, or whatever they have going on. And I'm here to tell you that, you can make it happen. But when I decided to leave corporate America, I decided just to take a leap of faith, and some things that happened in my life. I won't, take our time up with all of that, but I really had some hardships that really led me down this path of, what do I need to do with this? Do I need to just kind of stay in this, this pain that I've had through going through these things? Or is there something that I can bring to the table to add some value to other people so that they don't have to go through some of those same hardships?
Yeah.
So just like you're on here today talking about how you can make, six figures and how many times you've done that, and the gift you're giving somebody else by giving them the opportunity to learn those techniques, is what I do every day in, the financial world. And it's just been an amazing career change, and it's an amazing path we're on. And I'm super excited to be sharing some of those same tips and tricks with people today here with you. And thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I have four things we're going to talk about that will help you with the mindset to six figures, and they kind of add one to another, right? The foundation. So they build, I guess I should say. Think of it like a pyramid, right? The foundation, and I say this all the time, this is like one of my mottos, is that life change starts with a made up mind, right? You have got to get that place in your mind that you're like, enough is enough, right? Like, I'm done. Today, everything changes. Right? Not, maybe I could make a change, right? I might try something new. Like, I came to that place. I actually lost my full-time job. I was laid off 2 times in a row. And I was like, screw this. Like, I am worth more, and I know my abilities. And, the last job I lost, I was the top salesperson and I lost my job. And it was like, you know what? I'm done. I am now determining that I am going to set my own future. I'm tired of making money for someone else. I'm going to start making money for me and my family and my dreams. And so I had a made up mind. And when I got to a certain level of success in my business, we had this like gathering with a whole bunch of friends and celebrating a milestone in my business. And somebody asked my husband, John, what do you think, got Wendy here? And he said, she decided she would.
Yeah.
It was just a decision that I wasn't.
And that's where it all starts. It all starts with somebody being sick and tired of where they're at and the same, will that they've been running on, getting nowhere, advancing, in their career, not advancing in their career or in their financial life or in their love life or whatever it is that's on the table for them. And it really comes down to you have to make the mindset change that you're going to go out and do whatever it is that you're going to do, and you're going to give it everything that you've got.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no, what is it? The guy, what is it from Star Wars? What he says,
oh gosh, I wouldn't even know.
Yoda.
Oh yeah, Yoda.
There is no try, right? You have to do it. There's no try. It's like a determination. It's saying that, today's the day I start and I'm not going to stop until I achieve what I set out to do, which leads me to number 2, which is you got to have vision. You got to know where you want to go and why, right? So you were talking a little bit about the why. To share a little bit about your thoughts around that.
Yeah. So a lot of times, we hear people talk about how they have a why. And a lot of times it's just a vague why. Like you sit down and you spend just a few minutes and you have on paper, I want a bigger house, or I want to drive a nice car, or you got to dig deep on this one. This is huge. You have to really find the pain points in your life that you are not going to accept anymore. So it can be like in the middle of turmoil or in the middle of chaos, in the middle of pain, I am not ever going to feel this way again in my life. Mm-hmm. And that's what you want to capture to create that why around it, so that one of the recent books that we did, and, I'm sure we can put that in the chat and everything, but, it was talking about this, and it was talking about how you have to, you have to find the reasons, because if you're trying to find the motivation first before you put the action in place, you've got it backwards. You have to, the action is going to bring the motivation, and what's going to get you to take action and be on your toes, no matter how you feel, no matter what's going on, no matter what your situation is that why. I cannot let this person down. I cannot do this again. I cannot, not feed my family. I cannot, those are all things that you got to find that pain and that why to create it and create that.
Yeah. I actually learned in a real estate program about pain versus pleasure principle. And I've used this, and I'll tell you guys practically how I used it in my life. But, I want you to think about a marathon runner who's running for all his might. He or she wins the race, right? It's the fastest. They set a record, the fastest they've ever won. They were winning for the pleasure of winning, right? And we are built to either run towards pleasure or away from pain. But if you take that same runner and you put a cheetah behind them, they're going to run even faster. Right? I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Because the driver of pain is actually more powerful than the driver of pleasure. And so how I implemented this when I was going for that first 6 figures in my business was I put up a picture. My husband and I were in the process of adopting kids. So we were bringing 3 kids home from Africa, and our adoption with legal fees and travel and visas and all the things you have to pay were about $85,000 that we had to put out for these adoptions. So that was a driver for me, right? And I, instead of the pleasure of being able to grow our family, I thought about the pain and let that drive me. And that pain, how I implemented that is I had a picture of my kids, of me and my husband and those 3 kids in Africa. And when I sat down to do my income producing activities, if I started to like feel like, oh, I don't want to do my reach, or I don't want to, right? Like the few hard things that we have to do to build our business that we think are hard that aren't really. But I would look at that picture of my kids and say, if I'm not willing to do this, I'm telling you that you're not worth it.
Yes. Yes. You're speaking my language.
Right?
Yes.
Ouch. Like if you want to bring a spouse home from having to work, or you want more time with your kids, when you say no to building the business you say you want, to going for that vision, you're saying no to those people you love blatantly. Yes. Right?
You're essentially saying you're not worth it. You're not, what I can give you or potentially do for you does not outweigh the fact that I'm just tired today, or it's raining and I just don't want to do it, or I feel uncomfortable in the action that I have to do to push my business forward. And it's so true. It's so true when you put their faces in that place, or you put that scenario in that place, it makes what you have to do completely different.
Yeah. And I love, we've talked about this before we got on, but I love Andy Frisella. He has a potty mouth. However, man, the things he says are powerful. And he was talking about like, and I want to say this for the people that are already making six figures. He was talking about like the cutting yourself slack, right? Like we hustle when it's painful sometimes, but we forget to create that pain when we get a certain level of success. And then we give ourselves a break. We're like, I can take a few weeks off. I've worked really hard, right? I don't need to work 4, 5, 6 days a week. I can work one.
Oh, man.
We start to cut ourselves some slack. And guess what? We wind up right back in that spot. Or there's so much more that we're capable of, and we're really kind of selfish because we're just thinking about us and our own family and our own provision, and not the impact we can make much further beyond that. So
yeah, I feel like you're talking directly to me right now. I mean, seriously, this has been probably the hardest thing for me, transitioning from corporate America and doing all of those things. I remember being in at my stores because I was a retail store manager. And I would be in there at 4 o'clock in the morning. We would work till midnight. We would do overnight shifts and do all this stuff. I'm like, wow, when is the last time I did that for myself and my own business, that I really pushed myself to those limits? But the biggest mindset change for me coming out of that world was the inconsistency. And I think when you take that employee mindset out and then you put it into a business or a world where you have the flexibility and the freedom to, go have lunch with your friends in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Or take a nap if you really need to. I mean, you're not going to get six figures if you're taking naps all the time, but you can do what you really want to do with your life. And it's easy to get off track. And so you really have to have a plan of action to make sure that you stay on track with your days and you can stop. Yeah.
Which is our third point.
Yeah.
Right? After the vision, you've got to have a plan. You've got to know what steps it takes to get where you're going. And I just want to throw some numbers out for you guys. I'm not really good with math in my head, so I haven't written down. I'm really good with math on paper, just not in my head. But I want to give you some examples of how to make six figures. My coach, in 2020, January of 2020, I hired a coach, and I had switched. I left a residual six-figure income I had built in network marketing and started over with another company, and found myself like going, oh my gosh, I need to make some quick money, right? And she's like, Wendy, you can make six figures easy. And I'm like, what do you mean, right? Like I know I can do it, but it takes time. She's like, no, you can do it in a couple months. And I'm like, what are you talking about, right? And she threw numbers out, and I'm like, oh wow, that really is simple. And especially if you have something you're good at, which I'm sure most everyone watching has something they're good at, right? And we talked about this, Jon and I, a couple weeks ago, about different ways, like different side hustles. And you guys, you can take your expertise. You can, throw up Thinkific or Kajabi, or there's all different programs out there to put an online course up. If you had a $497 course that you created, right, that's niche, people want it, and you find the right people to market to, all you need is 200 people to buy it, and you've made six figures. That's it. 200 people at $497. Or you could do what I did, and I charged 10 people $10,000 for my expertise to coach them. right?
Yeah.
10 people. And you think it's hard. I'm telling you what, actually, it's easier to charge people a lot more and get a lot less people than it is to get the more people. I found that out too. Because I've made
Yeah.
6 figures all of these ways. I've made it with $10,000 a pop. I've made it with $497 a pop. Or you can do 20 people at 5K. I have a mastermind that's $5,000. I have 23 people in there this year, right? So you guys, there's so many different ways. And then outside of that, if you that's all you by yourself. That's all you creating something by yourself. But I think it's Rockefeller says, I'd rather have 1% of 100 man's efforts than 100% of my own. So
Absolutely.
I also think it's wise to be building something where you leverage a team,
Yes.
where you leverage other people's efforts. And so that's why I'm in network marketing. That's why Melissa's in the business she's in, because we get to leverage a team and the productivity of an entire team and get a percentage back to help us.
Massive. It's massive.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just, it can just grow exponentially. And, you know, a couple of things with that too is that you're giving other people the opportunity to start the same thing that has made you successful.
Yeah.
And what a great gift you can give to somebody, like to not just be teaching them how to go out and do it on their own, but you potentially, every person that you know, bring into your business or that you teach and train to go out and help others and serve others, you gave them the opportunity to change their lives. Yeah. And now Absolutely. They feel the same way to go out and be able to do that with other people. And it just spreads like wildfire. It's amazing. There's a little CEO up and coming right there.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, you said it, you know, the hustle is there. You just have to find the tools to implement for yourself to be able to do that and go after things that you're passionate about.
Yes, absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. And there's plenty out there, right? If you're passionate about helping people with money, you got a business like Melissa's in, right? If you're passionate about helping people with health, my network marketing my network marketing business is all about helping people get healthy, right? Like there's so many options out there. You guys, if like I have a client that trains owners how to take care of their dogs. You don't really dog train, you actually owner train.
Yeah,
which I found out. Right. She's got a course and one-on-one coaching that she does all online. So people pay her $297 a pop for her course. And guess what? People that are busy want help with not having a dog that pees on the floor, right? And she helps you with that. So people are willing to pay for what they need. So it's figuring out what you're good at and figuring out where those people are hanging out. And there's your plan. So you got to put it in place, figure out what those income producing activities are, right? What is, you know, the thing that you want to accomplish, where you want to get, you know, how many people are buying it? What rate do you need to have? Sorry, one moment.
That's okay. Hey, while Wendy's taking care of the little one, on the whole action plan and how to implement that. Really, even if you've already started a business or already going down a path, you just need to implement what it's going to take daily for you. You know, how many calls a day do I need to make? How many people do I need to be in front of a day? And you've got to break that down. You know, take the big goal. I want to make $100,000 this year. And I'm talking this year, like the next 6 months. All right. Well, actually, we're not even we're running. Time is going fast. Time is going real fast, 5 months. So let's say by the end of January, next 6 months, you want to make $100,000. You want to hit 6 figures, or you want to make your next 6 figures. This isn't just for the first 6 figures. This is for people who are already there who need to reevaluate how to get to the next level. Just because you make $100,000 doesn't mean it's, you know, necessarily the exact same steps that are going to get you to 200,000 or to 300,000. Sometimes you have to reevaluate that. So just looking at what the big goal is and then breaking it down into those daily, weekly, monthly tasks that you need to do to get yourself there. I think it's so good. We're going to have
we're just going to have a guest. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
This is called being an entrepreneur and working from home.
That's right. And this is also called, hey, this is how you get more people on to watch.
Put a cute face up there.
This is good sales tactics right here.
I love it. All right. So the last point really, and we've kind of touched on it, is consistency, right? There's one of my favorite books ever and I think if you guys haven't read this, it's a foundational book for anything you want to do in life, but it's called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And in that, one of the things he talks about is the pump well analogy. And to me, this was so powerful, right? In any business that you're in, because as an entrepreneur, you do a lot more work in the beginning with a lot less pay, no matter what you're doing. Yes. And then as you grow it, you start to figure out how to leverage time, money, people, and because you've built a foundation, it's easier to make money without as much effort. But in the beginning, there's a lot of effort. And so in the pump well, he talks about like that analogy is that you have this pump well, think about it, right? And there's water way down deep. And so you're pumping and this water is going to come all the way up that pipe. You don't really know how many pumps it's going to take to get it there, right? And so many of us give up right before that water starts coming out, right? And when that water does start coming out, the first couple pumps, it's just like spitting, right? Or like I have this in front, when these are new and you're like, you have to pump it like 75 times for it to start, right? That's and the first few are these little spits. And then all of a sudden, like with that pump well, all of a sudden the water starts flowing. And then your arm isn't as tired because it's a lot easier to pump. And that water, that's when you hit momentum. And so building your business, so many people fail at entrepreneurship because they quit before the momentum comes. And I am telling you that if you don't quit on the income producing activities and that consistency, and you don't quit on your vision, and you don't quit learning, you will win.
Yes.
The only people that fail are the ones that quit.
Yes, absolutely. And even quitting after you get the momentum up and going. It's I see it all the time where people make, maybe they make a big paycheck and it's like, woohoo, now I'm doing it. And then they take a week or two off. Yeah. And it's like, once you have that passion about whatever it is that you're doing, it kind of just gets incorporated into your life. Like, I don't know about you. I take trips. I work from the beach. I mean, I live on the beach, but I'll go and I travel with my family to other beaches and we, go out and we have fun. But I'm also taking a little bit of time in there to run appointments and reach out to people and things like that too, because it's just part of my life. Yeah. It's not like we're not working for the weekends. Right. We get to do things through the week on any day that we want to do it. So when somebody is like, oh, you're running an appointment on Saturday? Yeah, I am, because I didn't even have to run any appointments on Wednesday. I got to do whatever I wanted to do because I had a friend visiting or, whatever the situation looks like. And many times I see people who, make that first, even if they make it through that first big momentum push and they get there, then they start slacking off a little bit. And that's a very scary place to be too, because once you have momentum going, if you stop it, it's just like restarting all over again.
All over again. Absolutely.
It's literally like restarting all over again. The worst thing you can do is get your momentum up and then slack off. You can change it a little bit, or you can, take some things off your table maybe, but you're just going to have to, throttle back instead of just coming to a complete stop, because that's a dangerous place to be as well.
Yeah. When the momentum comes and when your income is to a place where you can breathe, right? If you're in the place you can't breathe as an entrepreneur, once it gets to where you can breathe, one of the things I highly recommend, which this might be a whole other call, but is leveraging other people, meaning with, paying people to do the stuff. Really quick tip, in all my to-do list stuff, all the things I do, I always categorize, is this something that I can offload or does it have to be done by me?
Yes.
Right? And the best things are the things that are money making that you can offload to somebody else, that you can pay someone else to make you money, right? And so think about those things as you grow, as you have leverage in your finances, as you're growing your wealth, you're able to then take those, I keep the things I know my worth. I know what I am per hour, right? So I have to look at my to-do list and say, is this me being $750 an hour, right? Or $1,500 an hour, or if it's $100 an hour, whatever it is this worth me doing? right?
Yeah.
Or can I take that time that I would be doing this and put it into that thing I know that makes me money, like phone calls, or, it's typically prospecting, right?
Yes.
When you can put your time into that, then you get to trade less time for money,
Yeah,
right? You
absolutely.
actually get to get some time back in your life.
Yeah, and I love that because then you're also supporting somebody else's business.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
It's
absolutely.
such a beautiful thing when you can, support other people who are in business as well, and it also benefits you. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
like it took this off my plate. This person is not only an expert in this, so they're probably going to do some things that I wouldn't have done or wouldn't have known how to do, which is going to elevate my business. And then I'm also providing that person with an opportunity to, create their business and be successful in that as well.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love that. And it's a great place to be when you can just, a lot of people, you got to think of it like this, I guess. Sorry, I'm flipping through my files because I'm like, I went through this with somebody not too long ago, and they were talking about the difference in being self-employed and being a true business owner.
Right.
And the difference there is the self-employed person is probably still going in, still working their business day in and day out. Like they can't remove themselves or the business stops.
Right.
Whereas the business owner is actually out working to continue to increase their business, but they're not in it. They can step away for several days and the machine just continues to move at the same pace that it was if they were in office or had their hands in it every single day. So
Absolutely.
I love that analogy because it kind of keeps it exactly what we're talking about in the sense that, the things I don't want to do, the things I can't do, or the things that, I feel like I have to stay in for now, and maybe later I can reevaluate.
Yeah, I'll kind of finish up because I know we're coming to the end here, but I was so afraid to spend money for people to help me. And I've shared a little here before, but I got myself in not hiring the right bookkeepers or not hiring a bookkeeper, right? At first it was, I didn't hire any bookkeeper. I'm going to try and do it myself. And then it was hiring someone that just dabbles. And then finally I hired a professional.
Yeah.
And she's expensive, but guess what? I don't care because she's saving me so much money and so much time in the long run. So, and I stink at it, right? I'm not good at that. Like I can make money. I can come up with ways to make money all day long. I really am not good at managing money. So I pay other people to do it for me. But it took me a long time to learn that because I'm like, I can do it myself. Right. So,
And for a lot of people out there,
money and heartache.
Yeah. And for a lot of people, if you're just starting, you do kind of have to dive in and do it all. You don't want to be one of those people running a business that you're like, I have no idea how to do that, but you're telling everybody else how to do it. So it's kind of like you do have to get your hands in the dirt and really dig in and learn all of those pieces as you're, starting a business. However, there comes a time where you have to release that. Start releasing those things to other people who, are experts in what you don't do well at. Like I love to go out and network and talk to people and, build a business and train and things like that. I am terrible at the paperwork part of our business. So I have an admin that does that. She handles that full time because, if I go in and do it, she's like, please stop. Because you left this off and you didn't do this and I need this document. Now I have to reach back out to this person and you should have just let me do it to begin with. And she's right. So, I have kind
of like my husband says to me in the kitchen, just leave.
Yeah, I get told that too. So anyway.
I love it.
Well, another show too. Maybe we'll bring Jon in on that one.
Yes, I'm thankful I have a husband that cooks because I am not good at it. And we stay in our area of expertise around here. So anyway, this was awesome. If you guys got value from this, hashtag value in the comments, tag a friend, share this video out. We're here every Tuesday. somebody's here every Tuesday. It might not be
Yes.
Jon, as you can see, but somebody will be here every Tuesday with simple money moves that you can use to grow your wealth and your impact. So
Yes.
hope you guys have an awesome day. Thank you, Melissa. It was so great to chat with you. And
Yes, you as well. I love
we need
this.
to kick Jon out again. It was
I know we will. We'll do it again in a few months. And listen, guys, if you need, if you want any more tips and tricks on how to get there, you have our handles for Instagram, Facebook here as well. Reach out.
Absolutely.
We will share the knowledge. So thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye.